Welcome back from lunch. Our first session after lunch is Holger talking about Chameleon and the ongoing saga of the PGP thing we just heard about before.
Need to speak to the microphone.
Good idea. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be a good talk. He knows his stuff. Holger, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm Holger Levsen. I'm used Debian since a long time, but I've even used PGP before I used Debian. I don't know really Rust. I don't know much about Sequoia nor about OpenPGP that much. I do know Debian packaging and processes, and all the bugs in this talk are mine. I hope the number is probably not so high. So I guess everybody here is using gpg. Who has heard about Sequoia? Why are you here? Who has heard about Chameleon? It's been in Justus' talk, I guess. Who's using Sequoia, Chameleon or not? Or has tried? Few people. Justus has tried it, nice. Who's using OpenPGP but neither gpg nor Sequoia? One person, yay. So there's other OpenPGP related talks at DebConf, the continuous keyring party by Gunnar Wolf, which was a nice introduction, I think. Nibe-san's talk about the hardware token, Justus' talk about Sequoia, and later another about key servers from Gunnar Wolf again. In the distant past, there was PGP, the software. Today, PGP mostly means OpenPGP as the standard. The software is mostly dead. It still exists, but... And besides gpg-gnupg and Sequoia PGP, there's about 10 other implementations in various languages. And this talk is about Chameleon, and Sequoia is OpenPGP written in Rust. Justus explained most of this. Why Rust is useful, I also not really explain. This is from the web page. So what is Chameleon? Sequoia's alternative implementation of a tool following the gnupg command line interface. That's directly taken from the package description. It's meant as a drop-in replacement using SQ as a backend. The goal is to be 100% feature and bug compatible, where sensible. And it uses gpg's keyring, but it can also use more sophisticated key management from Sequoia. But you don't have to use it. You can just use gpg as you used before. And more documentation is being worked on at the moment. And so this is not a talk about Sequoia. Still, I want to explain other things. You can just install the command line interface. There's also Sequoia for Thunderbird. And you can also use the stateless OpenPGP protocol. So enough introduction. There's one message to remember. The original idea of this talk was, hello world, apt install gpg-from-sq, the end, goodbye. Okay, we have a bit more time. So all Sequoia packages are maintained in the Rust packages team in Debian, with Alexander Kiel and myself as uploaders. DKG has also done a lot of work on this, but he's trying to get out of this and focus on the standards work, but a bit he's still doing. DKG is also still maintaining gnupg. And I got involved as part of freelancing to get a few more hours. I can also spend a bit of work on the general ecosystem, Rust ecosystem. And most of the work I've done in the beginning was sponsoring Alexander's packages. And since November, I've uploaded more than 70 packages to new. And this was with Sequoia already in Debian. So this is just new versions. Rust is still moving very fast. So many thanks to DKG as well and to the Rust team in general. Without this, it wouldn't be possible. So apt install gpg-sq installs Chameleon into user bin gpg-sq, which is not really much useful because then you would need aliases and stuff. So you can do apt install gpg-from-sq, and this will divert user bin gnupg, user bin gpg to user bin gpg g10 code, and gpg-sq becomes gpg. But if you just want to try it out, you can use the other command as well. And so if you do apt search Chameleon gpg in unstable now or in Trixie, you see these packages are there. And there's also the separation between GPG and gpg-v. V is the verifying tool. This is just if you want to just want to verify but signing with Sequoia, or the other way around, you can choose both things. And it's available in Trixie finally, and so on all my Trixie production systems, which are not that many to be honest, but at least the Rust development system is running Trixie. I've done this and I use it for my daily Rust work. It works. And before this, I tested outside production also that I can remove it safely and get gnupg back from G10. And you can all try it, and if you notice problem, if your use case doesn't work, just remove it again and everything will be as before. And this is really, for me, it was important that this works. And so you can do this. Please do. The end. Thank you. No. It's a short talk. The more things people did, and I did as well, update, and it failed first. But this bug has been fixed, both in Trixie and an unstable update works. So if you just use DPG to gpg-from-sq, Chameleon, you can use it with up your daily work fine. DebConf works, so I could upload packages, yay. But then I have two keys, or my old key, my new key, that failed. But this bug is also fixed. At the moment, only in unstable. I uploaded the fix yesterday, the fixed package. It will migrate to testing hopefully in 5 days. I had two keys, the old key, the fix is there. I had my email address as the key ID, and now I really put my key ID in there, and this works even with 2 or more keys. Or it's just one. And just basic operation, also they just work. Postscripts. And yeah, so this is what I would like you to do. And please file bugs. That is very important. And maybe also install SQ, because SQ is quite useful as well. Chameleon at the moment is only available in Trixie and newer, and we won't upload it to bookworm backports because of the Rust packages. That would be 100 backports and just be annoying for half a year usefulness. But what you can do on stable even, if you don't use Chameleon, you can use SQ network fetch and feed this to GPG, which I find really useful because I hate fiddling with GPG receive keys and selecting the key server and whatnot. SQ network fetch is much nicer in my opinion. This is not related to Chameleon. So to sum up, please file bugs, please use it. Upstream is very happy to have bugs because then they can prioritize things and know what people use for it. And this is indeed the end of my talk. Thank you. So there's time for questions, I guess.
I'm not going all the way back. I'll be back.
I was faster than you. What about hardware tokens? If I use one of these, if I enter my password too many times and it fails, and then I have to unlock it, unblock it, I remember there's a pin. Does that work too? At the moment, I think it's the GPG command that I always forget. But
hardware tokens work as far as I know. I have not tried them, and if your hardware tokens logs, if it has been used many times, then maybe test it with a test hardware token first. But I think it should work.
Great, thanks.
Okay, question actually to the audience. Who has used gpg-from-sq during the key signing party?
Me.
You're not the audience.
I'm not participating. Like I only sign other keys. Please don't sign my key. I'm special in this key signing party.
So I remember reading some time ago about the possibility of using Sequoia via Chameleon to replace the RNP implementation that Thunderbird, the RNP library that Thunderbird uses. So to use Sequoia with Thunderbird. Is that still a thing?
That is not Chameleon, but Octopus.
Okay.
Because Thunderbird doesn't use GPG, but uses the librp thing, and this is Octopus.
Okay.
And Octopus is also available in Trixie. No, in unstable, yes. It's available in unstable for sure and should migrate to Trixie soon.
Hello, thanks for the talk. What about, I read in the release notes that Go and Rust are not supported by the security team. Is there any work on that going forward, or?
I'm not sure what the policy for Trixie will be. But it's also been the case that if there's like if there's anything in the ecosystem needs to be rebuilt, then it's harder for the security team to schedule these things. But the security team does want to support these ecosystems. But it sometimes depends where in the stack the bug is.
Okay, thanks. Another question about using the divert mechanism. Is that what you want to do for a release, or is it the experiment?
Well, for the release, you can install it like you can do and have the diverted stuff, which is fine. It's not the default yet, or it's simply not the default. And whether we do it or not is the future, but that's unclear. And I think in the long term, it should rather be that we switch to the stateless OpenPGP protocol than keep on this gnupg interface. But this is definitely something for Forky, or Forky +1. For those not with Debian, Forky is the release after Trixie.
So thank you for the introduction. What? Okay, I definitely want to try it. Is there something I should do with my GPG keyring or whatever before running the apt install, or is it completely safe?
Complete safe, in my experience.
Okay, I can press enter then.
Yes. You have backups and stuff.
Any else? One more question? No? All right, one more time. Holger.
Thank you.